has been a question about how come we keep holding on to the negativity, whether we're in a relationship or a marriage or at work, or even throughout the day. We could be getting feedback from 10 people. We're going to remember the negative one and not the positive one. And how can we change that in so that we're not always stuck in the negativity? Well, our brain works in a way that is trying to save us, is trying to make sure that something that has been handled and has we've experienced, that if it was negative or it was detriment to our life or produced some sorts of negative emotions for us, or it might be danger, for us to know how to handle it the next time, for us not to be surprised. And that is part of our survival game. And many of the experiences, emotional experiences, come from our midbrain, and it does come through on automatic before even our consciousness is watching over the automatic thought based on something that showed up and it relates to a past experience, which could have been traumatic or could have been unpleasant, let's say, and we had it as a reference in our memory, our system says, uh-oh, watch out. And we're constantly watching for any of those in order to protect ourselves and create safety and security. So yes, our automatic thoughts come from survival and safety and security, making sure that we're okay in any format. Now, some people also have associated many of those aspects that even may look like that they're acting out or defending themselves. And it's like, well, maybe those are not automatic thoughts or not just that, but or even our coping mechanism are also become automatic thoughts. So what happens to the frontal cortex? Now it comes in and kind of evaluates, looks at things. It's just that sometimes the experience that we have emotionally shows up much faster than we can be even aware of it. So the more that we practice in the awareness game through meditation, through practices that we're constantly looking at ourselves, watching our thoughts, emotions, and behaviors and the impact that we have, we become more proficient in knowing that the automatic thoughts come in and we can look at it, watch it, and see if it's useful or it's not. What is it that we could do about it? And then how do I want to shift it, change it, refocus where I'm thinking, where kind of like distract myself or put my intention and attention towards something else, which is positive, kind of opening up the lens to look at the bigger picture. So as I spoke with people who are fighting in their intimate relationship and they hold on to all the negative things that maybe they've said to each other for many, many years and kind of bypass all the good stuff that they've said to each other or the gifts they've given each other and hold on to those bad memories and keep bringing it to the present moment or even react in the present moment as if those things are coming. And whenever we talked about how come that past keeps coming, they're not complete with it, so they haven't conversed and really felt like they were heard and they could feel safe again in that environment, and then making sure it never happens again. When I've talked to people who are at work and they've gone through their grievances and they've talked to it, and some they've actually been an agent of change in that system, but now they don't trust it and constantly looking as being hyper vigilant around it. So it's interesting that many times we do the things in order to change the negative things and change it into a positive thing and move forward, but we haven't let go of the negativity. So it does take some practice, and the practice is how, one, to be aware, put on the camera on yourself and look at your thought process. Two, really look at the automatic thought process that comes. And although they're automatic and you don't have any control over them, the part you do have control over them is now how to refocus. How do you do reality check? Do you still need to think of it that way? Is there anything you need to do about it? And how can you refocus yourself into your growth, your strength, the positivity that is out there? Learn skills to bring those skills into your life and shift yourself out of the negativity so that you're not stuck in it. The more you practice this kind of balancing the negativity and the positivity, and you'll see that you will no longer, after practicing that the go-to would be only the negative thought. And even if the negative thought is the first thing that shows up, um, then you could see, do you really need protection in this area? Or you already got it and you can handle it. And then you can move on in trusting yourself that whatever shows up, you can handle, or if you don't, you will learn how to handle it and move forward. So, first of all, know that the negative thought process is something that is normal and natural. But the part that is not normal and natural is the one you now keep at it and go for it and constantly get it higher and higher and bigger and making yourself more miserable. That process is not normal. And that's the part. It might be normal for you, but it's not a healthy normal. So the part that you can actually do is to shift those thought process into a positivity. Now, the positivity you could get help from books. You could get help from a lot of the spiritual mindedness books and audio books and let's say podcasts. You can go through music and create that for yourself. You can look at the better version of you, where you could go in and look at what is the best possible version of you, and you can begin acting that from that place. You can begin looking at the best version of your mate and keep talking to that part of your mate, or the work or gratitude and creating kind of like a blessing, feeling blessed about all of the things that you have. So practicing on the positivity, even though the negativity might show up for you as an automatic space. Thank you.
Togetherness Media. Togethernessmedia.com.